G'day, and welcome to the Best of the Rest F1 podcast with Sticks and Fraser. Tune in weekly to hear everything Formula One. G'day, and welcome back to the Best of the Rest podcast with Sticks and Fraser. I'm Fraser.
And I'm Sticks.
And today we are talking about the 2026 Liveries review.
Mate, that intro felt weird saying it that way around.
I know. I got a bit lost there. I thought I was going to call myself Sticks or something.
I forgot who I was as well. That was wild.
Yeah, I think I had to say who I was for my own peace of mind, not whoever's listening.
Time to talk about colours on cars.
Colours on cars. Exciting.
It's come back around again.
Yeah, it has. I don't know, mate. Like, we'll get into it, but to be honest, not much has bloody changed. I think everyone was being a bit too focused on the new regs and just rearranged their colours a bit and going, oh, yeah, that would do.
Well, from memory, we sort of had some stronger opinions last year on the cars because there were some quite bold choices.
Yep.
I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards the disappointment this time around. There's just sort of a bit meh.
Yeah.
Nothing too wild, but nothing too amazing either.
Yeah, so I've tried to base my ratings and opinions mostly on how the car looks as like standalone, and then also keeping in mind how much it's changed compared to last year. Because whilst it might still look good, if it's the exact same as last year, then you got to take a point or two off, don't you?
Yeah, true. I've looked at a couple cars as standalone race car liveries, but then paired to the branding, and I've got some thoughts on that too. So
just by that little snippet, I can already tell who you're talking about.
I might be ripping into the same team that I ripped into last year.
It might
from
be.
memory.
It might be.
All right, you ready to jump into it then?
Yeah, let's kick her off.
Righto. We'll start with Aston Martin. Lead us away, mate. Out of 10, what did you give Aston Martin?
So I gave Aston Martin a 7 out of 10.
Right.
In my opinion, it was very similar to last year. I do love the green, the British racing green. But there is probably a little bit too much of the black at the bottom for me. You know, the typical Aramco and that little bit of a brighter green does look good, but yeah, not a whole lot of change. So just a 7 out of 10 for me.
Where does that lime green pop of colour come from? Is that linked to a brand, or is it just?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know if it's just a bit of a breakup of colour that they've gone with, or if that is a bit of a brand. I'm not sure.
Yeah, neither. Well, that's funny because we've done these ratings completely separate. I don't know what you're doing and vice versa.
Correct.
I've gone a 7.
Nice.
And in my note next to that, I've gone the green is sexy, but I want more of it and less of the black.
Yeah, that's pretty similar, eh?
Basically echoing your sentiment there. The colour is awesome. And on track, whether it's broad daylight or under lights, the green looks amazing. But unless it's a weight thing, and that's why they put the black, and the black is actually carbon fibre. But I'd rather see the whole car in that British racing green. It looks sexy as.
Yeah. There's another team, maybe two, that we'll get onto later that will fall into a similar category. It's just use your base colour and use it more.
Because that green is probably one of my favourite colours on the grid, full stop.
Yeah.
It's like just do a little bit more with it. It's overall, it's not a bad looking car, but I don't know, you can just see them doing better.
You certainly can. Do you want to fire away with McLaren then, old kid?
Right. Well, I've gone a 7 for McLaren as well. They haven't done a whole lot different to last year. I think there's a bit more black on the car. There's this big sort of diagonal black stripe over the back and the airbox. It's, in my opinion, there's a bit too much of it. Again, it's very similar thoughts to the Aston. The papaya. It's
papaya.
Signature. Stands out. Wicked colour. And if it is a weight-saving thing, I'm not sure, but a little bit more of that. I don't want to be seeing too much black on the car. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, so I was at a pretty similar standpoint. I was a 7 out of 10. Very similar. So yeah, it was mainly just they've changed a bit of branding. That black stripe that you mentioned, I think it might have had Google Chrome in there. It now says Gemini. Yeah, everything else is quite the same, really. And I did expect this from McLaren because they'd kind of come out and said, like Zach Brown especially, had said that they like to kind of perform in eras. So because they've done so well, they want this to be the, papaya and black era kind of, whatever. Like they had their past, like the Marlboro era and whatnot when they've dominated. So, but yeah, to me, not much change, bit of branding, and there will now be a number 1 on one of the cars.
I would argue with Zach Brown there and say, with this regulation change, there's no guarantee that McLaren are going to be anywhere near the top anyway. They may be in the top 4. So why not retire that livery with a perfect championship year for them last year with the constructors and the drivers? Shelve that, go, yep, that was a livery from our dominant year, and not somewhat taint that if they go into this season and finish 4th and they don't win the drivers, and it's just sort of like it would be a letdown of a year in comparison to the last year. It's an interesting call.
Yeah, well, actually, on that, they turned it around quite quickly from when they were performing quite poorly to then be coming out and being world champions and now a driver's champion as well. So with, like you say, the new regs, it could quite as easily go back the other way again. But yeah, if I was a part of like a design team or a team manager, I'd probably be looking at following the 4 years for the regs. And at the end of that, and when you're starting new regs, just completely new design. Just throw everything out that you had before and essentially start fresh. But
it does make me wonder though, like you touched on this at the start of the pod, but maybe the liveries this year was just a bit of an afterthought because they're so under the pump to get these cars together that it's sort of, like that's pretty good. That's not bad. We'll run with that because what it looks like is the least of our worries.
Yeah. They're design and aero team. The design and marketing team must be on aero as well, trying to
they're just
work out the new
all
regs.
hands on deck.
Yeah, anyone will do.
Right, we'll keep on rolling on to the new team on the grid this year. Bloody Cadillac, mate. Whew.
Cadillac.
Fire away. Maybe we might have a different stance on this one. We'll see.
We'll see how we go. So yeah, obviously a different livery. Haven't seen it before. The black and white, it does look good, but it's not really going to stand out on track, in my opinion.
Yeah, the inverse colour scheme from one side of the car to the other.
So the inverse is like, it's cool. It's a cool concept, but I almost feel like it's going to be slightly confusing. Mm-hmm. Like you come around from one angle, you're going to look like a team that's got a bit more white on it, like maybe a Haas. Then you're coming around from another corner and you're a lot darker. That's more like maybe a Mercedes. So, yeah, while it's kind of cool that it's doing that and it's playing with those colours, it's still just kind of white and black. And then because it is inverse, it's so different one side to the other that, yeah, it might get a little confusing. So I do feel like it's a nice concept, but on a race car, maybe not so much.
What did you give it out of 10?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
This is wild. Like we don't sit here and come up with the same thought process, but I've gone a 6 out of 10 and more or less said the same thing.
We haven't, and full disclosure, we didn't talk about the liveries. Sticks brought them up on his computer. There's a few that I didn't really like the way they were showing the livery, so I got them up on mine, and we ended up doing them completely separate. So it's funny that so far we're pretty much mirroring each other.
My note here was it's decent, but too similar to others. The inverse is the only thing they've done to stand out.
There you go.
So, yeah, we'll keep on rolling on. Williams. I reckon we might differ here.
All right, you fire away and we'll see how we go.
So, the Williams. I've gone pretty harsh here.
Okay.
5 out of 10.
Right.
I don't like the mixture of blues. There's a big light blue chunk on the airbox and
On the side pod.
Side pod, sorry. And yeah, I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. I don't know whether if it was a different color it would work, because then it sort of disrupts the blue theme. But yeah, the different blues just doesn't work. And hopefully that's the only problem with this car, but we'll see what happens when it gets to Melbourne. But yeah, looking at it, yeah, it's not for me, because they've got the sponsorship from, is it Barclays? I don't know whether that's a bank or something. And apparently that may have come on later on, and so they've just slapped it on the side pod, and they've used the different blue, and it just not for me. What do you reckon?
It's just kind of like they got a bit of a mixture there. Komatsu, Atlassian, Barclays, and just kind of
slapped it all together.
them all there. And
who wants to buy a spot to market? And
yeah,
we'll put your brand here.
So I had that there is a bit more definition between the blues, which looks good on the nose, not on the side. Side pod, yeah, like you kind of touched on, just a bit too sharp. Would you call it sharp? Blunt? Like just straight change of colour. Whereas at least last year, it kind of faded more from the dark blue into the mid and lighter blues.
It was more cohesive last year. It sort of just feels like, okay, who wants to buy this spot? Yep, okay, you got a bit of blue. We'll slap your logo here. Who wants this?
Yeah.
We can make you white, so we'll sit you there.
Yeah. Yeah, just hasn't quite
doesn't flow.
Sat that well for me, so it was a 6 out of 10 for me.
At least that was a different rating.
Yeah, different rating, but similar viewpoints.
Right, we're up to Alpine. Fire away, mate.
So I had that it was quite similar to last year. Bit of a brighter blue, definitely popped a lot more. And the pink is probably a little bit less overpowering. So there is good colour placements, and the way that they've worked in their branding, like the BWT, which they did do quite well last year as well. But it just it does work the way that they've mixed in their blue and the way they've placed their pink. So I don't really have too much more to say on that, to be completely honest, but I have gone an 8 out of 10.
Ooh, an 8. I've gone a 7 for Alpine. I really do like the pink and the blue combination for this team as a whole. Like it works. In your head, you think it probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it makes them stand out on track and in pit lane. This livery is okay, but I do feel like they could do better. Whether it's more pink, like it's very blue with like bits of pink. You could use the pink to maybe stand out a little bit more. But like, I guess overall it's all right. 7 out of 10, not a bad job, but I do feel like there's room for improvement.
Yep, fair enough.
All right, here we go.
Lead us away on the Ferrari sticks.
All right, now this may be a clusterfuck of thoughts that come out in a bit of a mess here, because I'm yo-yoing, all right? Hear me out.
Fire.
I've given it a 9 out of 10.
No, you haven't. Don't lie to me.
I've given it a 9 out of 10. Now, this is where it gets messy.
Are you being serious?
Yep, 9 out of 10.
Okay. All right, yep. Fire.
But this is where this may not make sense. I look at this livery and I'm like, that is clean, that is sexy, I like it. I'd love to see that racing around a racetrack. That'd stand out. The pop of white and the red. Ooh. But then I remember, this is a Ferrari. Why the fuck is half of the car white? It's a Ferrari, mate. And they've just sold out to HP and gone, oh, I thought it was bad enough last year when there was a little stripe of white. So I'm in this mixed emotion state. So I really like the look of the car, but it pisses me off because it's a Ferrari and it should be all red.
But
It's pretty simple.
You've given it a 9.
So now in hindsight,
How do you give it a 9?
I reckon emotionally I need to like remove 5 points. It's a 4.
It's not. It's not
It's a 4.
It's not just what color schemes look good. It's the Ferrari livery. Like, how would you go if someone did an all red car on, like, I don't know, say the Alpine, for example?
They can mix up the branding.
What would you do if they rolled out with a full, or Red Bull then just rolled out with a fully red car?
They can do it. There's no heritage there. It's Red Bull. But Ferrari, like that, I'm just so torn because it looks good, but it's a Ferrari and it shouldn't be half white. Like last year, there was half a white stripe and I lost my mind over it. I'm like, that is ridiculous. And it's just grown down the car. Now the cockpit's all white.
It's like a tumor
It's
or
just-
skin condition. It just kind of
It's a melanoma just working.
grows further.
We're going to have 3 white cars on the grid next year. I love it, but I hate it. Anyway, that's over to you.
Yeah, look,
Give me your thoughts.
I don't know whether I'm bringing this up or down from your. I'm confused, but anyway.
I've given it a 9 and a 4.
Fucking hell. I've actually got a feeling you did a similar thing last year.
I remember being pissed about the white on it last year, and there's just more white, but it looks good, but it's not it for Ferrari. So
Actually, I think last year you still went harsh, but then I somehow convinced you to go harder. And you're like, fuck them. Every time I'm talking about them, they're getting worse. Anyway, this might happen again.
This team does bad things to my psyche.
Oh, shit. I think you might have started like a 6 last year and ended up at a 4.
We should look at that later.
So, I've gone for the Ferrari, a brighter red, which is nice, a little brighter than the traditional Ferrari red. However, the white HP, very overpowering, consuming probably a quarter, maybe. I'd say it's a quarter of the car. If you're looking at colours, it's probably 2/3, but there is a significant amount of black to the underside, and the front and rear wing are completely black.
Well, it's consuming the best chunk of the car if you take the front nose away.
Exactly.
Like,
And I love a Ferrari red. So it's one of those cars where I think it needs to be almost all red. Like if that entire car was red, I would not be disappointed. You know, if you just kept like your tie rods and stuff like that, like actual assemblies and working parts as black, and everything else was red just with a few black vents and stuff, oh, that'd be delicious. But this white, look, I don't mind it. Like you're kind of getting at, like you're calling it a 9, but to me it's not Ferrari. This is HP with a splash of Ferrari red. I've given it
they've sold out.
a 5 out of 10.
So add 4, 5, and 9 together, and that'll be our average.
God.
Move on before we. Well, anyway, Mercedes.
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 Do you want me to keep it rolling?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out.
So am I. So I've got very similar to last year. It's a little bit of a nicer silver, and the like the shark gill kind of design, almost Adidas logo type spec over the top of the side pod above the Patronus. It does look good and changes it up a bit. Other than that, it's almost exactly the same. They've slapped a Microsoft logo with all the bright colours, just right on top of the airbox, like at the top of the engine cover, kind of right behind the driver's head. And it just, to me, that's just the wrong spot for it. Like they've already got a Microsoft logo kind of in the front end plate, like on the side of the wing, front wing. That's perfect. Great spot. Why have another one then up above the driver's head? Like I know maybe they're putting a fair bit of brand deal into it, but it just it takes your eyes immediately away from everything else because everything else is dark and kind of, I don't even know how to describe the color scale, but like grayscale kind of.
It's like a moody sort of aesthetic.
Like moody. Yeah, and then you just got this bright pop of color that just takes your eyes straight up and away. So for me, it's another 5 out of 10.
Ooh. Right, I look at this Mercedes and I think sleek. It's got a nice aesthetic. The colours work well together. The big controversy I've heard with this design is the silver, shark gill type design clashing with the stars that it has on the back of the airbox. I'm neither here nor there on that. Like, I think it sort of works. They're trying to do something different. I'd almost sum it up as, for me, it's clean, it's sleek, but it's also somewhat boring.
Yeah.
Like, it'll look good on the track, and it sort of fits that Mercedes aesthetic that they go for. Like, they wear the button-up shirts in the garage. They sort of prim and proper, top end of town type of team. And yeah, 7 out of 10. It's all right. Didn't really push for anything crazy. Spent too much time developing their engine.
Yeah. I'm thinking I went a little bit harsh with the Microsoft logo and probably should have been a 6, but fuck it, I'm sticking to it.
Ah, fuck them.
All right. Audi, big boy.
Rightio. Audi, I've gone a 7. It's safe. It looks good, but yeah, I feel like they've gone very safe with this. It's the black back third of the car, the big chunk of reddy orange. I don't even know what that colour necessarily is.
Yeah, well,
Vibrant.
I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was like quite a red, and then in other photos and like when you see it, it looks very bright orange. So like a mixture somewhere in between.
It's like that vibrant red, borderline orange. I guess depending on the lighting, it might somewhat change. It's almost like that, like a highlighter spec type colour. Yeah. And then front half of the car being silver. Like it doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong, but yeah, quite safe for the entry into Formula One. Especially on the front half of the car and the wing and all. There's not much going on there. So actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to go 6. It's all right, but yeah, they could have done a little bit more.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
So my opinion is it's a new livery, so it's always nice for something different. But really, it is just silver and black separated by a orange/red band. So it's pretty much just my dot points kind of complement exactly what you've just said.
What do we think the same? This is
and
ridiculous.
I went a 6 out of 10. So there you go.
Right, over to Haas. Do you want to lead the way with Haas? Or
I'd love to.
All right, go for it.
Absolutely delicious livery. Love the extra white. And the way that the black and red works back in is absolutely fucking delightful. I don't know. I just look at this, and there's something about, like, they've done a bit of a different side pod concept to a lot of the cars. It's a bit more edgy, if that makes sense. Like, it's not kind of a smooth, rounded out side pod. It kind of hugs back into the car a bit more and has a few sharper edges. But the way that their color scheme has followed that, I fucking love it. I'd pick that out of any of the cars any day of the week. And for that reason, I've gone all legs in the basket, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Woo! You've gone even higher than what I did. I've got a 9.5 out of 10. Yep.
That was a terrible whistle.
It's not getting any better.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the Haas just looks incredible. I don't know whether that's because it's, looking at a picture of it now, it's not covered in bloody brand logos everywhere. They've run with the GR branding, which is red and black, and they've sort of covered that theme along the rest of the car, and it just flows really nice. Majority white, the pop of the color, it looks awesome. And yeah, speaking from the cars of the past that have been majority white, white just works on track. It pops against the dark color of the racetrack, and then under lights, it really, really pops. I hope they have developed a quick race car. We'll see what happens. But if they have, they've got the livery to go along with it, because I don't want to see this beautiful piece of work trudging around the back, because it deserves to be up there.
It does.
It's stunning.
It does. Even the Gazoo Racing, the big GR on the engine cover, all worked great. I
Super clean.
love it. They've done a good job.
Right, 2 teams left. We're over to the potentially the dark side of Formula One, depending on where you sit. Red Bull.
Couple of bulls.
Right, Red Bull. Standard Red Bull livery. But they've gone for that darker sort of, what would you call that blue? Is it metallic? Like, it's got more of a pop to it.
Yeah, it is kind of a metallic-y blue, I guess.
From the pictures I've seen of this car on track during testing, it didn't...
Yeah, like those kind of gel paint, like kind of got that sparkle.
Glittery, yeah. That's a good description, actually. But yeah, during testing, during the day, you lose a lot of that pop, and it just goes back to that sort of really dark navy.
Yep.
So I was sort of underwhelmed with that. But in Bahrain, when it come to the evening testing and under lights, the colour really pops, and it looks quite nice. So under lights this year, this car is going to be quite stunning. And considering Red Bull don't do a whole lot year to year, which, I mean, they don't really need to, because this livery or any slight variant of this livery, it just works. It pops. It's, exactly what it is. It's not covered in, they're not random brands like that are taking over the colour rights of the vehicle. Like, they are the brand, so they're going to dominate. And yeah, so solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, well, to reiterate what you've just said there, Red Bull is the brand. It is iconic. Yes, it's a copy and paste colour scheme, design. Like, I don't think anything has changed except for the difference in the blue. But yeah, that they are the brand, and it's a very vibrant blue. It stands out a lot more. But yeah, otherwise the same as last year, but for me it's a 7 out of 10.
Not too far off again. Are we actually going to have a solid disparity here or not? I mean, Ferrari was sort of a half disparity, half not, but...
Probably Ferrari, I reckon, would be the one.
Last team, Racing Bulls. Lead us away.
I think from memory, I didn't mind the Racing Bulls last year. This one is very similar, but I don't really like that kind of dark blue or black at the bottom. It just doesn't really flow in with the rest of the car and the whites and the yellow and the red. It just, I don't know, it's almost like a bit of an afterthought in the way the white and the Visa kind of wraps up that side pod to then just be kind of, it's not quite a teardrop shape of white, but yeah, the way it just kind of wraps up, it just looks out of place. And then I do like that they're putting the Red Bull and the yellow on the airbox and engine cover and the front wing, but it's not really doing too much for me. It's just not flowing all together as one livery. So it's a 6 out of 10 for me.
It's almost like there's not an original thought in this room. I've gone 6 out of 10. It's worse than last year. It's too dark. Like this, the black parts on the car just don't work. I like the fact that last year they went with the main team having the dark blue, so you have the standard Red Bull and then the yellow pop logo that they put on the cars. But you had like the dark blue, and then you had the second team, which was all white, so it was almost like the inverse. And it's a cool sort of theme to have the light and the dark.
Yeah.
But this just, it doesn't work. Like they've taken away half the white off the car, big chunks of black. It's just very harsh. It's very abrasive on the eye. Just considering last year, from memory, I believe Racing Bulls was probably a general fan favourite livery overall.
Yeah.
Probably very much like the Haas is this year.
Yeah.
And they've made it considerably worse. It's not a shocking livery, but when you know what they actually produced last year and what they can produce, yeah, just disappointed.
Yeah, and also in terms of what they can and can't produce, last year their cars were reasonably competitive. So this is a car that you might be seeing up in the mix. It's not going to be forgotten about at the end of the pack. So yeah, I don't know. Just everything just kind of seems not quite flowing and thought about too well. It's just, how about we throw some colour here, a bit of black there, a bit of dark forward blue there, and how it kind of, laps in is just not doing it for me.
I take that back. I've just zoomed in on this picture here and I've realised that the black section at the back of the car is actually dark forward blue, but it more or less looks black in a lot of these pictures.
I think it morphs into a bit of black there in some spots too.
So it's...
And then forward of that side pod air vent, that's got a line of dark forward blue, but then black in front of that too.
Yeah, it's just not it.
But yeah, just not for me. Not
Right.
terrible, but yeah, not going to win the award today.
All right, that's the 11 teams wrapped up, and just a quick summary. Somehow I have got, Haas is my highest rated, followed closely by Ferrari as the second highest rated, but then also the lowest rated in the one session. So yeah, go figure with that. Have you got your favourite car this year, mate? Just to wrap things up.
Haas were my favourite,
Who?
with the straight tens. Lowest I've got two teams, which was Ferrari and Mercedes. I think Mercedes was a bit harsh, so I'll just lock it in with Ferrari with the 5 out of 10.
Ah, dear. Right, well, that's the 11 cars. Time to box, wrap up this pod.
I thought you were doing the outro.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing the outro, aren't I? Shit. I'm not used to this, am I?
Time to box.
Give us a like, give us a follow. Give us some feedback if you've got any thing that we want to talk about, you want us to talk about, or how we can improve. Just let us know. And tune into the pods that'll be coming out in the coming weeks. Catch us later.
See ya.
Oh, look at this. This is not a dog. This is a piece of shit.
Ladies magic driving skills.
Yeah.